We left off last time when Samson took off to his father's house in a mood because of his wife's betrayal. Samson still thought he was married. How long Samson stayed in his father's house, we don't know. But Samson, when he calmed down, took a goat and decided to head back to his wife. Where he finds out she was given in marriage to his best man. This chapter helps to show us the danger of seeking revenge. Ultimately, no one gets even or settles the score. What started with Samson's failed attempt to cheat others ended in incredible carnage. When Samson arrived at his father-in-law's house, he says, "I thought you hated her and I gave her away to someone else. Do you want my younger, prettier daughter?" His daughters, although he might have loved them, his daughters were commodities to him. Samson believed he was the victim here and believed what he goes on to do is justified, which makes me think he knew his riddle was deceitful and wrong from the previous chapter. Samson felt he was justified to take revenge, and maybe he was, but at what cost? So Samson, he goes out and he catches 300 foxes or jackals, because in the translation the word could also be jackals, and jackals would have been more native to the land at that time, but either way it doesn't really matter. But 300 foxes everywhere, and he ties them together in twos, so you have 150 bunches of foxes, so to speak, and he ties torches to their tails, sets fire to them and lets them loose. So that means everywhere they run catches fire. And can you imagine the mayhem that two foxes tied together, running and pulling in different directions, and then put on top of that, you have the flaming torch on their tails. So that would be been devastating enough for just two foxes to do it, but you had 300, so that was 150 packs all running around. So they damaged the harvest wheat, the olive groves were destroyed, and the vineyards, and they were probably like totally destroyed. They might have had to dig up and replant them again. The foxes in this story are similar to lies that spread around churches and church circles today. If you ever hear people talk about, beware of the little foxes, this is what they're talking about. Our little annoyances that get on your wick, see her, she shouldn't be doing that in the church because she's not perfect. Or see your man up there waving his arms about. Oh, I could tell you a few stories about him that would make your toes curl. These thoughts and these, when you spread these around, these are the small foxes. And once they're released, they cause mayhem and destruction because people hear it. And unfortunately, in the world, everybody wants to believe the worst in everybody else. But sometimes in church life, it can be like that too. Because if you think somebody's worse than you, then you don't feel so bad about what you do. So whenever we're any little annoyances, anything that can bring sort of like doubt onto somebody's character, testimony, they're little foxes. So don't let small foxes destroy your relationship with the church and with church people, because whenever you go down that route where you want revenge, if somebody has done something, if somebody has hurt you and you want revenge and you want your pound of flesh, it could just destroy more than you can bargain for. Because whenever Samson let go of the 300 foxes, it destroyed their whole week, their whole grain, their olive presses and their vineyards. That was a lot. That was, what they were going to live on. I mean, they were would had to go and buy that grain and stuff to live on then for the remainder of the year, because you wouldn't be planting that again till it was planting time. So just be careful whenever you're doing. You can be justified if somebody hurts you. You can be so justified in saying or doing whatever it is that will hurt them back, but it can get out of control, and it can damage more than what you bargained for, and it can sometimes have a blowback onto yourself. The Philistines, they retaliated by killing Samson's mother, former wife and father-in-law. Why they did this is unclear. Maybe it was to get at Samson on a personal level, although give a thought to the poor former wife. She was threatened that she would get burnt alive if she didn't get Samson to tell him the riddle. And she did what she was asked, and then Samson stormed off. So she was given to another man, and it was probably the one who threatened her. And then when Samson came back and took revenge because of what her father had done, because he gave her away, the former wife, she paid the price. Well, the father-in-law did too. But I mean, you kind of have to say, I feel sorry for her, because she's in a no-win situation. She was going to get burnt if she didn't tell Lemons the riddle, and then when she did tell the riddle, Samson cleared off, and then he took revenge, and she ended up getting burnt anyway. Samson, after this, then Samson took revenge on the Philistines who killed his wife. We don't know exactly what he did, but we know that he killed many of them before going to live in a cave in a rock in Edom. So it was turning into a bit of a tit for tat here. So of course then you have the Philistines, who were rulers in the land at that time. They were the rich people. The Philistines then retaliated by setting up camp near Judah and attacking them. They were told it was all because of Samson. So 3,000 men went to the cave where Samson was living and asked, "What are you doing? They rule over us." Samson, he blamed the Philistines blamed Samson, but took it out on others. The others then blamed Samson. It was saying tit for tat, and it would be never ending. And this is exactly what revenge brings you. So the men of Judah tied Samson up and took him to the Philistines, but Samson made them promise that they wouldn't kill him. Once Samson was given to the Philistines, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson. He broke the ropes and lifted the jawbone of a donkey and killed 1,000 Philistines.